Hello, welcome. Now, this is lesson 2, transposing, manipulating, or playing around with the formula, trying to change the subject of the formula. This will be brief. These are just 3 extracts from past question papers. Now, you can pause the video and give them a go and see if the last lesson is still very much cemented in your brain. Now, before we get started, already you know that we have to get our calculator ready for everything. Now, when that is done, we can get started. So now we have the 4.2. So this is where we are. 4.2.5, it says determine quartile 1. I remember I told you in the last lesson that it could also have to do with interquartile range. This is where we are. Determine quartile 1 if the interquartile range is 10, so IQR is 10, and Q3 or quartile 3 is 18%. So now, like I told you, it's important to know the formulas. The formula for interquartile range is that you have to take a Q3 and you have to subtract a Q1. We'll still go further when I get to data handling, go further with regards to your interquartile range and everything. Now I'm just showing you how to transpose. So now, since they have given us the interquartile range as 10, so we know that interquartile range is 10%, and they have told us that quartile 3 is actually 18%. And the question was that, what then is Q1? So we have to calculate Q1. So now the problem that we have is that Q1 is not by itself, and that's the whole concept of transposing. We want to get one variable. Remember the definition, we want to get one variable by one side by itself. We want Q1 to be one side by itself. We simply want Q1 to be the subject of the formula. Who is problematic here? Who is causing Q1 not to be by itself? Well, it's this guy here. Now, how can we deal with number 18? Well, just send number 18 to the left side. Remember, any number given just as it is, it's a positive. It's a positive 18. If it goes to the left, what is it going to become? A negative 18. I know you've been paying attention. So now we are going to have a 10, and then we're going to subtract an 18 because it was a positive. Now it's a negative, and then we're going to have a negative Q1. So if you've been following what I've been doing in the past lesson or the first lesson, you will understand what we are going to do here at the end. Now, what do we have? Let's go to our calculator. When we say that a 10 and you subtract an 18 from it, what do you get? You get a negative 8. So the answer here is negative 8, which is equals to negative Q1. Like we did in the first formula, if you have both sides, they are negative, you can simply cancel out the negative. It simply means that Q1 is equals to 8. And like we did again, like I told you, you don't just skip when you are done. What do? You prove. So let's prove whether indeed this is correct. IQR is equals to Q3 minus a Q1. IQR was given as a 10. Q3 is an 18. We have found Q1 to be 8. Is this correct? Let's go to our calculator and cancel. If we say 18 and you take out an 8, or you get a 10. So we know that we are indeed correct. See, now I have eaten the property for this question. This guy is going to sue me for having taken out its own property for my own self-use. Now let's go to the second one. So the second one says that if the interquartile range is equal to 25 kg, determine the value for quartile 1. Or they still want us to calculate Q1. Okay, so interquartile range is equals to Q3 subtracting Q1. Do we have interquartile range? Yes. They said that if it is 25 kg. Do we have Q3? Let's go to this table. Yes, we do here in this table actually have a Q3, which is 113 kg. Do we have Q1? Nope, that's what we are looking for. Now, again, let's come here. What's the problem here? The problem is that Q1, what we are looking for is not on one side by itself. That's why we have to transpose to get it by itself. Who is the problem? This is the problem. What do we do to the problem? We just send it to the other side. Let's send it over to 25. Any number given by itself, it's a positive. If it goes to the left, it has to be a negative, or if it goes to the other side, it has to be a negative. Now, we are going to say 25, and then we are going to subtract 113. We are going to get equals to negative Q1. Yes, it still has to have a negative. We haven't done anything to it. Now here, let's go to our calculator and say, what is it, 25? When you are subtracting your 113, it says that it's a negative 88. Negative 88 is equals to negative Q1. By now, you know what we do. If they are both of them, they are like this, you can just cancel them. It simply means that it's Q1. So we have to prove. We have to prove. We have to prove. Let's prove it. Let's use a red. So we said that this is the answer. Let's prove if this is correct. So let's just simply say that IQR is equals to Q3 minus Q1. Now IQR was given as a 25, Q3 was given as 113. We have found Q1 to be 88. Does this make mathematical sense? When you say 113 and you subtract an 88, are you going to get a 25? Yes, indeed. Therefore, you are correct. Now let's go to the last one. So the last one, we are simply going to be focusing on 4.2.5, which also, it's still talking about IQR. It says that the interquartile range for the top 10 vehicles sold in South Africa is. So that means we know IQR is equals to Q3 minus Q1. IQR has been given as 7669, which is equals to, and the value of Q1 is 11,408, but we are supposed to calculate Q3. So Q3 is what we have not. What have we? Q1, which is what? 11408. Now, again, let me use a different color. Let me use blue. I have not used blue for quite some time. So what do we have here? Okay, this is a problem. Why it's not on one side by itself? Who is keeping it from being on one side by itself? It's this. It's this. What do we do to people who are keeping other people from being by themselves? Send them to the other side, wherever that side is. With this regard, it's on the left now. So 7669. So what we are going to do here is that we are going to say 76 and a 6 and a 9. Because it had a negative, when we send it to the other side, it will gain a positive. So it will be 11,408 is equals to Q3. Now let's go to our calculator and see what it has to say. 7669 plus 11408. 11408, you are going to get, so here Q3, you're going to get a 19077. Is this correct? We can't move until we have proved, is this accurate? Right, so we had IQR, which was Q3 is subtracting Q1. IQR was 7669 is equals to Q3, which was, we have found to be 19,077 minus what was given us as 11,408. When we are proving this number that it is by itself, whether it's true indeed. So let's say 19077 11408. Okay, 8. Yes, indeed, it is 7,666. And also, don't get confused. This, I know, you're like, sir, why is your Q3 on the right and on the left? It's the number. We are not used to that. That's not traditional. Well, at the end of the day, if you want, you can simply write it as Q3 is equals to 19077. I believe I made a video with regards to conversion factor, And I made it clear that wherever there is an equal sign, it simply means what is on the left and what is on the right, they are the same. You can interchange them however you like. Saying Q3 is equals to 19,077 and saying that 19,077 is equals to Q3 is one and the same thing. Thank you for watching. Keep well. Catch you on the next one.